The tightness in the front of that left lane is really what's helping the ball get into the pocket for both players. And now it's just a matter of figuring out that riddle. It's the right lane. The string strikes together.
Right, and that's the thing is, looking for a great final. As we talked about it before in the beginning of the broadcast, the right lane is a little tricky. If everyone's just now tuning in, Sean Maldonado defeated Mitch Beasley. Bill O'Neill defeated Sean Maldonado, and now we're here at the title match.
Oh, media on media again.
Bill O'Neill versus EJ Tackett, $15,000 in a tour title.
That's sitting pretty. You could just tell right out of his hand.
Yeah, good shot by Bill there. Good shot, way to start the match. Now we're going to see kind of what we talked about. EJ going for his first title. That's going to see how he's going to be. Obviously a little jitters, some nerves. Not so much the money. I think it's more of about the title. Yeah. Good luck to EJ.
Hey.
Hope you bowl a good game, sir.
You can spend the money in many ways, but nobody can take that term PBA Tour champion away from you ever. Oh, if you're going to do it in the first frame.
Right. Good shot. Good shot there by EJ. He's obviously fairly in the same spot that Bill is, but he's getting his ball, a lot further to the right. And as you can tell, it's having no problem hooking back.
Just needs to climb that hill a little bit quicker. No problem covering the 10. I think we'll see EJ slow down the pace of play a little bit this time around, too. He likes to be a little more deliberate before getting up on the approach, where we saw the match with Maldonado and O'Neill go by pretty quickly. Both players relatively quick getting on the approach. And
especially when you're striking, I mean, you just get to going and, you start knocking them all over. But let's see how EJ does in this shot right here.
Sliding almost in the left gutter, comes up a little high, almost gets the break to take the 6-pin out.
And what I noticed is when EJ threw some shots on this left lane in practice, and I saw his ball kind of creep high, and it did it again on that shot there. So I'm wondering if that spot is starting to kind of go away a little bit. Kind of like what I talked about. Bill's hand is more underneath it, and he can get it through the front really good. EJ is more of a not really a grabby grabby type of bowler, but his ball reads the friction so much sooner than Bill's does.
Should EJ fight it with a little bit more spin on the ball at release, or should he fight it by just moving left? What in your situation, what would you do?
I would just move a little left. Yeah. But at some point, you kind of run out of lane. Yeah. EJ's really good at lofting it. So I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to do. He's going to kind of toss it over a little bit, and Bill's reaction is really good.
Just splits the 8 and the 9 again, and there's been so many of those strikes where he is just through the 1-3 clean, no deflection to the 5, and splitting the 8 and 9. And that's when you're just locked. O'Neill looking to take a 21-pin lead with his 3rd strike in a row. Looks solid again. Oh, came up a little high.
Yeah, and exactly what I talked about. I think that lane's spot is starting to go away a little bit. Bill can go a little bit more left. He's not as left as EJ is, but he'll make a small adjustment. He'll be fine. The thing is, I think EJ's gonna give it a little loft. Bill, a very good spare shooter, so no problems with the 4-pin.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's giving away pins in this match when it comes to shooting second shots in a frame. Sean Maldonado hanging around. Great weekend for Sean.
I expect the EJ to give a little loft on this, just because he's starting to get so far left. He's going to be sliding in front of the bar return. No?
No. And he may have to go there soon.
Yeah.
As you can see, even with
his hand just got around that one really, really fast. And that's the thing is, EJ's really, really quick at the bottom. Kind of, I don't want to compare myself to EJ, but his hand is much quicker than mine is. So sometimes when EJ gets around the side of it, his ball tends to read a little early, you know, and I think that's what's going on right now. So I expect, you know, one or two things here. EJ's going to move left, obviously, or he's going to give it a little, you know, a little air on it. You know, after about 4 or 5 games today, we were lofting it, you know, over the gutter.
Yeah, the PBA Air Show was in full effect by position round and match play this afternoon. EJ Tackett looking for his first strike in this championship match. Only down by 11 pins.
Yeah. That was a good shot.
He seemed to really, you said quick wrist, really snapped that off even quicker on the bottom that time.
Yeah, and he looked like he throw it a little harder.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing is EJ can do both of those things very, very well. You know, so that's going to give him some confidence for sure.
Oh, he's, you know, for having to finish on the right lane, he's just got the nut on it right now with just smash, smash, smash.
Yeah, and that's, you know, I think that's the one good thing about Bill's game to me is, you know, again, he's very, very soft at the bottom. You know, his hand rolls up the back of it, so you know, it hooks early sometimes, but a majority of the time, his ball is very, very clean through the front. You know, 4 pin on this lane last time. I expect an adjustment to the left. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, little scoot left.
A little loft on it.
Oh.
Wow, great shot. He's staring at it. Wow.
Yeah, how can the 6 not suck down the 10 as quick as it went around it?
Yeah.
That was about Mach 6.3 on the 6 pin.
And the way he's looking at that looks like one of the best shots he threw all weekend.
Usually you see a little deflection in the pocket going through. You see the ball kind of deflect back to the 9 pin spot. I didn't see that on that shot.
No.
That was just square and just one of those. You get one of those 1 in 1,000 shots a year where you're going, really? It was perfect. And the laws of physics get defied for a frame. Still maintains an 11-pin lead with the mark. No problem.
No problem. Okay, now this shot is very, very important for EJ here. You know, he went high over here last time. You know, he made a good shot on the left lane. I expect the same adjustment that he did on the left lane to do on the right lane.
Just combat it with speed, huh?
Yeah, it's just going to be a little speed. You know, he's throwing it pretty hard. His wrist got around that last one really, really fast on this lane.
Again, real nice and fast, and he's right back there.
Yeah, good shot there. I expect an exciting finish here.
As we take an extra look at that, I say slow motion of EJ Tackett's follow through, but it looks like regular speed for most people.
He's about 120, maybe 120 pounds soaking wet. Throws that bowling ball. You know, he's 16, 17 miles an hour right now. And what you notice about EJ, he's very, very firm at the line. You know, he doesn't fall off. You know, kind of like Sean's hop. You know, kind of like what we talked about. He's very firm at the line. You know, he stays down. He makes good shots here. EJ in the 6th.
Take the lead by 9 pins. Got it, 10 back.
Wow, good shot. Good shot, EJ.
I assure you this is 50% speed, right?
Well, if we flip that video, it could be me, you know, left-handed minus the revs. The actual speed would be the same. The revs would be about down by 2/3.
All right.
O'Neill looking to stay close. He's been solid on this lane, this game.
Wow, I could tell. I noticed. Jeff, can we replay that again? Watch this right here. He's over the top of it, and you can just tell his ball his ball read the front really early. He was just over the top of it, thumb down.
Yeah, as you said, with the follow through, you could see it coming up. It just was in a position where it actually kind of turned early and
right, and that's
doesn't
the thing.
do that. Yeah.
You get another look at that.
Yeah, just if you can do a slow mo, Jeff, please, and just watch Bill's thumb. Watch how it comes out really quick and left. And if you can see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's out right there. You know, and you can almost tell, and you can tell that his ball is going to go high. You know, and that's the thing. You know, when there's really not any push, you know, I mean there is some push there obviously, but you know when you hit up on it like that, and your thumb kind of hangs in it and goes left, the ball's gonna hook early. Much better shot.
He wasn't happy with it for some reason.
Doesn't like it, but I mean he just didn't
Yeah.
get it to the spot.
Okay.
I mean it came off his hand. You know, if you watch here, you know, kind of compare it to the last one, you know.
Oh, yeah, you see the difference,
Yeah.
but he just missed left.
Yeah, he just missed left. You know, and it wasn't anything crazy. He just made a bad shot, you know, and that's what happens. You know, those things happen. You know, Bill's human, just like anyone else. You know, so he'll make the spare. You know, he really want to keep the heat on EJ. You know, you don't want to get EJ too far away now.
Yeah, I mean, EJ up by 13 pins at this moment. Another strike tacked onto his string. Gets that out to 23.
Yeah, this is an important shot. Bill can strike out for 235, and EJ has 268. So you don't want to let EJ get too far away. His swing gets loose. Good shot.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Wow.
The 4, 9, 10 all cave in, and that's all just enter angle, isn't it?
Yeah,
EJ?
I mean his ball's going sideways down the lane, you know, and it gets down there. It's about I can't really tell what that is. But
That's
maybe
like 11.
Yeah.
It's not as far as we saw a couple of shots earlier.
and his ball just goes sideways, and those are the things you need. You know, you need those things on your side to win. You know, and you know today it might be the day for EJ. You know, finally get some breaks go his way. You know, Bill made a couple of, you know, I'm not going to say terrible shots, but,
No.
you know.
It doesn't take much on this pattern.
Right, exactly.
A little farther right, and he trips to 4.
Yeah, trips to 4-9, trips to 4. You know, EJ's day.
Yes, indeed. You can see right there, lay down at like 38, out to 23, 24, and then farther out to 9, and gets the 4-pin out.
Now these are important here. I mean, these are important shots for Bill to stay in the match. To me, these are must strike.
Yeah.
You have to have some type of pressure on EJ stepping up in the 10th frame. Excuse me, the 9th and 10th. You know, to stay in the match.
235 maximum here for Bill O'Neill. Still with that chance as he scrambles up the left side of the rack. And watch that release, much cleaner. Look at that thumb.
Yeah, the thumb
out by his ear instead of under by his ear.
Correct.
Where he was previously.
Yeah, and that's what, you know, we talked about thumb down. You know, when you thumb down, the ball's going to go sideways, and it's really hard to get it to the right when you do that. You know, so good shot there by Bill. This is a must. It's a must-have here.
Needs to push. Yep, he knew it.
Yeah, that's.
He knew it needed to push.
He looks kind of confused. He let it go. It looked like he thought it might have been okay, and then as soon as it got about 45 feet, he kind of put his foot down like it's going to hook early.
Yeah, and as soon as that ball started to just change its axis and start heading towards the pocket, he knew way too early. And right now, it's kind of cruising mode right now for EJ Tackett to get his first PBA title.
Stay behind the line, sir, and you will be a PBA champion.
Gets it out there. There you go.
Good shot there. Congratulations, EJ. Well deserved, sir.
Spectacularly done. Kept himself on the top of the leaderboard after the Casters round was complete this morning. After game 1, he was on top of the leaderboard. Has stayed there ever since. And just flush it back. Take that 7 and 10 out.
Right.
And you think it's hit him right now? He knows it?
I think he just kind of put his head down. You know, I don't know if EJ's an emotional type of guy or anything, but you know, it will. Trust me. You know, I was in that position one time, and it will.
There he is.
Very good. Good shot.
Keeping it going.
Arm in the air.
268 maximum here. Handshakes and hugs.
Kind of like his average was all day. You know, I mean,
it seemed like it.
He bowled 268 against me. You know, for sure. So.
No doubt. PBA Tour champion EJ Tackett. Acknowledging the crowd I think that smile's going to get even bigger after he throws this
Oh yeah.
last shot on the lanes. And boy, you still got to say right now, I mean, I know Belmo's home in Australia and didn't make this event, but the hottest bowler right now out here, Bill O'Neill.
Yeah.
And when Jason Belmonte gets back for some of the events later this summer and into the fall, the two guys that are going to be fighting it out.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to go at it, you know, just like anything. You know, we all have, you know, competitors in our sport at the highest level, and right now Bill O'Neill is that type of person. But let's not talk about Bill. Let's make this about EJ. Congratulations, sir. You deserve it. This is your day. You know, to be crowned the Lubbock Sports Southwest Open champion. You know, congratulations, sir.